Paramashivoham Sarvaroganivarakam Vande Papavinashaktam Nithyanandaya Swagatam Anandanubhavaswaram Sarvaroganivarakam Vande Papavinashaktam Nithyanandaya Swagatam.
I welcome you all with my love and respects. Listen, I'll expand on how the principle of integrity expands your wealth, ability to create and celebrate. First, let me define Sampurti, integrity. Integrity means you fulfilling the word and thought you give it to yourself and to others and experiencing a state of Purnatva. Completion with yourself and with life. Let me define wealth. Now I defined integrity. Let me define wealth. Wealth means having the resources in the inner world and outer world available for you to fulfill what you feel as your life's purpose. Listen, having the resources in the inner world and the outer world under your disposal to achieve what you decide as your life's purpose. Wealth need to be understood. If you have crores of rupees and do not have a health to even stand up, then it is not going to be useful. Having the resources in the inner world and outer world to fulfill your life's purpose is wealth. I am not restricting wealth to the zeros added in your bank balance. I am not restricting the wealth to the infrastructure available to you. Wealth is having the resources in the inner and outer world to fulfill your life's purpose. How integrity expand it? Listen. What is integrity? The words you give it to you and to others, honoring them as life. First look in, do you really want wealth consistently in your inner space? If you look in, you have greed for wealth, but you are not ready to take the responsibility which comes with wealth. To acquire, you need to take up responsibility. To possess, you need to take up certain responsibility. To celebrate it, to celebrate its existence, you need to take up some responsibility. To spend, you need to take up some responsibility. Look inside. You have so much of hatred towards all those responsibility. Then how do you say you want wealth? With integrity, if you analyze what your mind, what your inner space's attitude towards wealth, you will understand You are afraid of wealth. You hate wealth. That's the truth. Many times you sit and calculate. If I take responsibility and make few years, then few years I'll possess, then few years I'll spend, and by the time you complete the calculation, you understand when you start spending, your old life is gone. So you think, oh God, my whole life will be gone if I take the responsibility for wealth and start accumulating. So better let me just fantasize about wealth and go on blaming myself I don't have, and just retain the greed. Somewhere some lottery will come, or Nithyananda Swami will bless. No. I'll at the most bless you to have wealth, to do some meditation program and have right mental setup. That's all. Not more than that. Have the right mental setup, that will bring wealth. For that I'll always bless. Fear of responsibility and greed for wealth always goes hand in hand. If you look in, you have greed for wealth, but you are not ready to take the responsibility that comes with wealth. We keep our greed thinking one day this egg will hatch. Understand, if the egg is broken from outside, a life is destroyed. Life is killed. Possibility is over. If the egg is broken from inside, life happens. Life comes out. If you take up the responsibility inside for your greed, you break the egg from inside. Life happens, wealth happens, expansion happens. If you are just keeping the greed, you have not taken the responsibility, then fear will attack from outside and break the egg. Possibility is over. Are you going to keep your life a fight between fear and greed, or victory of responsibility? Responsibility continuously declares Ishwaratva, victory, leadership. Look in, spend little time with yourself, do the manana, internalizing. Is all your thoughts about wealth are in integrity with your desires? Are they in integrity with your desire, with your responsibility?
Inner awakening. Stunning health recoveries. 100% cure for depression, insomnia, asthma, fatigue, chronic pain, insecurity, panic attacks, and other major disorders. Awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the dormant energy within. What would you do if you had 1300% more energy? Disease-free mind and body is your first wealth. Claim it at Inner Awakening. Inner Awakening, a 21-day meditation retreat with rare living incarnation, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, May 8th to May 28th, 2013, Nithyananda Dhyanapita, Nithyananda Nagar, Bidadi, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Contact
0802 727 9999.
Email ia@nithyananda.org.
Nithyananda, I'm Aarti and I'm a volunteer from the San Jose Madurai temple. This is the first time I'm doing Inner Awakening. Though it's been a dream of mine for a long time, it finally happened. It's by far the best thing I've done in my life so far. We've had many good experiences throughout the program, but a couple of things that a lot of people might relate to would be like, one relationship that I had with one of my relatives, it got healed. I was not getting along with this person for a very long time. For 10 years, we wouldn't talk to each other well. So as part of the end relationships, I did this completion with her, and we're completely at terms. We've come to terms with each other. That was a very, very nice experience, because every time at the back of my mind, I used to have that heaviness always whenever I would even think of this person. So that is completely healed, and that itself has given me such a good feeling. And another thing is, during one of the darshans, I told Swamiji that I'm allergic to the sunlight. I used to get these very bad rashes on the face and on the hands, and he just healed me. Right now I'm standing in the sun and nothing's happening to me. So these are, something that people would relate with. And there are a lot of other things that cannot be explained in words, so you should just come and try it out.
Just yesterday, or day before yesterday, I found a dangerous pattern with one of my sannyasini. For some reason, I was telling her, you be healthy, you have to take class. Because you are taking the class only, I am able to rest. If not, the load will fall on me. Be healthy. With all the humbleness and gratitude and the great dedication, sacrifice, she melted down and said, Swamiji, I will work and fall at your feet and die. You don't worry, you take rest. I said, this is the exact pattern with which I was suffering, so you don't suffer. We always have the idea, like Paramashivoham, till the end he gave the discourses, last discourse he gave, and just dropped the body gracefully and achieved Mahasamadhi. Or many other yogis will work and leave the body. Please understand, I am not disrespecting any of those great yogis or any of them. All I am trying to tell my sannyasini is, why should you have that wrong visualization? Visualize, I will work, with that become more and healthy. Live at least 150 or 200 years. Then leave the body at my will as I want. Have the right integrity, because your integrity creates the body. Even these few imbalances which my body is going through is my wrong programming in the young age. Fortunately, I have corrected it. It is now correcting itself, aligning. Listen. Work does not need to make you tired. It's a wrong idea taught by society to you. And only two enemies human beings have is boredom and tiredness. When you entertain both of them, you build wrong patterns. When you are bored of doing some working something, then you invoke tiredness. Om tiredness, swaha, iha gaccha. Please come here, reside here. You invoke tiredness. You invoke depression. Oh depression devataya, iha gaccha. I will do puja for you, please come and settle down. With integrity, scrutinize your inner space. Internalize your inner space. you will be seeing whenever you don't want to take the responsibility, you invoke boredom, tiredness, and fear. Sometimes even greed is used as a substitute for enjoyment. Listen, pornography, how the porno is used as a substitute for the real love. Same way, greed is used as substitute for the real wealth. You know, to enjoy the wealth, really you need to take the responsibility. But now, you don't want to take the responsibility. So what to do? You just fantasize you have a wealth. Huge palace, the center of the city. In India, these crazy fellows always love to live in the downtown. The Western countries only you would like to live in suburb. You fantasize the big property in suburbs. This country, these fellows are crazy. So they always fantasize in downtown. You fantasize a huge bungalow in the downtown with hundreds of cars, workers. Many times, by the time you finish your fantasy, you are tired and fall asleep, about which you are very comfortable. Greed and fantasy is used as a substitute for alcohol and drugs. Listen, when you have the pattern of alcohol and drugs, you go for it. If you are afraid of that, it may spoil your health. You use fantasizing and greed as a substitute for alcohol. Fantasizing and greed is also a powerful substitute for alcohol. Internalize yourself with integrity. You will understand most of the time, what most? 100%. Your relationship with wealth is not taking responsibility to make it reality. It is more like, let me just have fantasy about you and live in it. It is like when you break from your first love, puppy love in the school. Later on, even if you see her, you know you don't want to live with her, but you just want to live with the fantasy about her. Wealth also remains the same way for you. It is not that you want to take the responsibility of making it as a reality in your life. You just want to keep the wealth as a fantasy of your life. Once in a while, when the reality is too harsh, you just want to have the fantasy as a lubrication to make you run. I tell you, wealth as the reality is Lakshmi, fulfilling. Wealth as the reality was never renounced in Vedic tradition. Before taking sannyas, you declare Lakshmischa, Pushtischa, Kirtinjan Runyatam, Brahmanyam Bahuputratam.
ಒತ್ತಡವನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆಗೊಳಿಸಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಿದ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮಗೊಳಿಸಿ, ಭಯ ಮತ್ತು ಚಿಂತೆಗಳಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮಗೊಳಿಸಿ, ಉನ್ನತ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮದಾಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿತ್ಯ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಯೋಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಕಾರಾತ್ಮಕ ಮನೋವಿನ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ತೊಡೆದುಹಾಕಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಜಾಗೃತಗೊಳಿಸುವ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಶಿಬಿರ. 7 ಪರಿವರ್ತನಾಕಾರಕ ಧ್ಯಾನ ತಂತ್ರಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಸಶಕ್ತಗೊಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆನಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮಸಿದ್ಧ ಹಕ್ಕು, ಅದನ್ನು ಮರಳಿ ಪಡೆಯಿರಿ. ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಧ್ಯಾನಪೀಠ, ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ನಗರ, ಬಿಡದಿ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ
0802 727 9999.
If the Vedic tradition is against wealth, why will you ask for wealth before taking sannyas? It is a Virajahoma mantra, sannyasa mantra in the Vedic tradition says, Srischa, Lakshmischa, Pushtischa, Kirtinjan Rinyatam, Brahmanyam Bahuputratam. Listen, Vedic tradition was never against wealth. It is against the fantasy about the wealth. You not taking the responsibility with wealth. Responsibility of the wealth. Have right relationship with wealth. It should be the stable marriage relationship. Your relationship with wealth should be stable, responsible relationship, not just fantasy flirting. If you want a woman in your life, you should be able to take responsibility for her and the relationship. Same way, if you want wealth in your life, you should be able to take the responsibility for the wealth. You should be able to take the responsibility to make it, live it, and celebrate it. One of the important lessons you need to learn, you always think people without integrity get wealth. I am with integrity, that is why I don't get wealth. No, you are wrong. You are wrong. Only people with integrity will be able to get and live, celebrate it. When you make money without integrity, I tell you, you will never be able to live it. When the integrity brings, you live and celebrate it. Wealth created with integrity brings fulfillment to you and your life's purpose. With integrity, you will first build the right relationship with wealth. You will not have fear. Sometime, if you internalize, you will find if some wealthy person behaves egoistically or arrogantly, you think, if I have wealth, I will also become like that, let me not have wealth. You start hating wealth. You start living without wealth because you are afraid you may become egoistic or arrogant if the wealth comes to you. I tell you, if somebody wants to be arrogant, even if he doesn't have wealth, he is going to be arrogant with some other reason. Maybe his youth or his poverty. Poverty is equally capable of making you arrogant like wealth. Listen, I have seen in my experience, the so-called poor fellows are the most arrogant people. At least wealthy people, because they have to have a lot of experience in the society, they are beaten by the society, they become polite, polished, humble, processed. But these so-called poor fellows are so arrogant. They demand 100 times more than what they can take responsibility or they are worthy. And then they say, because I am poor, you are not ready to give me this. So I tell you, if somebody decides to become arrogant, wealth is only a reason. Even without wealth, the person can be arrogant. But inside your heart, if you start thinking, because of wealth, these fellows have become arrogant. If I become wealthy, I also may become arrogant. Your hatred towards arrogance turn towards health. Turn towards wealth. Only if you internalize, you will understand. When you are thinking about wealth whole day, see what is the relationship you are building with wealth. Analyze again and again what is the words you are uttering towards wealth. I have seen many times you start enjoying poverty because of the self-sympathy it brings for you. Somehow from the young age you always started believing poverty means you are right. If you are in poverty, you have not done anything wrong. People with wealth do fraudulence, wrong things, tell lies, cheat others and accumulate wealth, which is a complete wrong pattern. Have-nots have a deep hatred towards haves, and the have-nots spread constantly rumors and stories about haves. The have-nots have a deep hatred towards haves, and they spread. Even if the richest man is your close friend and you know he has not done anything illegal, you just want to enjoy that rumor to justify why you don't have and he has. You do not want to accept he took the responsibility for life and you did not take the responsibility for life. Because I walked length and breadth of India, I have seen India in its deep roots. I tell you, in Indian psyche, we carry a deep hatred for those who have. We will neither take the responsibility to have, nor allow the people who have taken the responsibility to have peacefully. This is what I call poverty consciousness, beggar mentality. India needs to wake up and come out. Whole India needs the practice of integrity. Listen, we need integrity as a lesson in our schools. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.